this might not be when I'm supposed to start the video or whatever, so I might do another one. But I felt called to make a video, and then I knew I had to go through my phone and be like, delete shit, so I actually had space to make a video. Let alone post one. So I was going back and deleting things when I saw some videos I had made relatively recently, like one that I made since I've been here, one that I made before, like literally like right before I got here, from everything that was going on at Pops. God damn. At my dad's house. And it wasn't even when things started there, like it was literally before the tower moment. I think I posted that already, or it is posting. And I'm gonna work on posting the other one that I've made since I've been here, but it also has a piece of something I'm not ready to share, so I have to like edit or like clip out the ending part of that video, but like I also want to share it all because it's so raw and real, and it opens up like those parts of me and everything that I'm normally feeling like I have to hide because I always had to be the pleasant good girl, like and when I wasn't, it was like, oh, I'm like a total rebel, or I'm just like fucked up, and it's like not in any healthy way. But this is like the most healthy I've been with all my emotions, with everything in general, with myself, with loving myself and caring for myself in all these ways, since I can remember in my life. And with that, I just really wanted to share the duality of that situation, that there was so much that I was processing and have been processing through before, during, and after my tower moment with everything in my life, because it wasn't just me moving out of my dad's house, and it wasn't just me cutting contact with my family over there. It wasn't just these things or whatever it looks like on the surface. Like there was more than that I'm not willing to share with other people because of not that I need anyone to accept it if I were to share, but that it's just more than needs to be out right now, more than needs to be talked about. But just that it has been such a deep thing for me, this whole experience, in all sorts of directions, like as above so below. Like, okay, yeah, I'm working on the depth of the anger and the sadness I was feeling, but that is also just, that's the root that's growing that love and joy just as high as those roots are going deep. It's just about being completely and entirely real with myself, and I love the fact that I've made these videos since this has all been going down, because it just shows me how dedicated I've been to myself and my healing throughout all of it. Like the few videos I just saw, just it's just wild to watch and see how that's affected me now, being able to sit in those moments and talk over things with myself, or think of things on my own, and just not even talk or think, but process in the way of, yes, I'll word things to let it out, but there's also the crying to let it out, the yelling to let it out, and I was able to do all of this. And just how much that has opened me up in so many ways to everything that's coming and has come. Look at this, it looks like a little centipede boogie thing. That was me making my cocoon, and and I'm turning into a beautiful butterfly during this transformation, and I feel it all. Not even just the butterfly, but more something louder, something with more of a boom. Like uh, something louder, something with more of a boom, something that is seen by more people than just the butterflies colony. Oh my god, chills everywhere. It's so wild. It's so wild being able to experience these things and just being able to fully trust my intuition. Like, especially because it was people who got me to trust myself that I was listening to things from them, and it's like, and I would have this feeling inside me like, no, like, I can trust these people, but this is coming from their perspective, what they're still dealing with. You know your truth about your life, and now I'm at the point where, like, I saw how it went down when I trusted them instead of me, in a way of like, yes, I can trust another person, but that comes with trusting myself as the first person. Like, above all else over here, I'm trusting myself first. So if, yes, this thing or this message comes from someone I trust, take it with that grain of salt of, okay, what am I feeling in this? And with all that description, it's really just the fact that that was just like that last thing that made me realize, like, 100,000, 10 per fucking million, gazillion, bazillion, bajillion percent that the I can trust myself and my feelings, and my intuition is the fucking key. Chills again, and like, I can't even tell you how many times I'm gonna get chills and confirmation and signs throughout this whole video, or else. But yeah, seriously, like, let me shine some light on this real quick. Hold on. Hey Google, turn on living room lights. Actually, hey Google, turn off living room lights. Hey Google, turn on Christmas tree and string lights. Hey Google, turn on string lights. Thank you. Here we go. Okay. Um, Still getting used to that thing. Oh, and I still have one more piece of clothing. The beginning of this, I just put all my folded laundry back in my bag. I just got my laundry done. I was gonna try and backtrack to what I was just talking about, but I think I'm just gonna move forward with whatever I feel called. Although with the last two videos I just watched of myself, I had made some notes. So like, one of them was, it was the one that was like the one before the tower moment, you know. So before it all started, I think is what I labeled it as on YouTube or something like that. It was the 21st of November, or yeah, the 21st of November, and posted today, the 17th of December. Um, but I was going over the whole dream, or the whole video started because I wanted to go over my dream, but I knew like there was a lot more to go into that, and so I posted that one. Um, it was before those emotions that I was talking about in that video, where I had been feeling like there was something, like, it got to a point where, okay, I used to feel this in my ceremonies, and it would sit in my heart, and it would feel like it was just stuck, and I would try and push it out. I would try and accept it. I would try and build my safe space to make it feel safe, like make my inner child feel safe enough to express it. And then around that time of that video that I made it on the 21st of November, oh, excuse me, I was recognizing that I know and feel the safety in myself, and the fact that I have complete trust in the process and in myself. But that wasn't the issue. That was the thing that was stopping me from feeling this particular bundle stuck in my heart space. And it was all a first step of like I needed to lay that foundation and literally build that safe space for myself, and that entire, like, every fiber of my being knowing that I can trust and feel safe with me. But the thing that was stopping me was the fact that I didn't accept the certain things that I was feeling about a situation, about a person, about myself, and everything entailed with that. And I was only, when I was thinking of that situation, that person, that blah, 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 I would only look at it in one, and I'm gonna word this even though I feel like I need to explain it more because I'm not saying specifics, but I'm gonna say this how it's coming out and let it flow, because what I dealt with is what I dealt with. The way I express it doesn't need to be perfectly taken by another person, and whoever's listening to this can take it the way that they can take it to focus on themselves and maybe hit differently for their situations. So yeah, like I was only basically focusing on like this one part of that situation and what I had done and everything, but I wasn't letting myself feel the fact that I was hurt, as if that understanding, I've been saying this for so long with so many people, like understanding something does not excuse it. And to go further in just this little bit, abuse is never acceptable. It's never okay. But I can always see the process, the purpose, the intricate web of everything, and I'm still so grateful for every single bit of my life that has been hard or trying, or even during this whole time where I felt like I was gonna like give up. It's not like it was trying, and it's not like it was grueling. Like I didn't feel like that, and I hate when people put those words on it. Like, ugh, just like step back, bro. Like it's not like that. Like this is beautiful for me. Feeling these emotions isn't trying. Feeling these emotions that are heavy isn't trying. What was trying was fucking sticking to it and holding it in and sitting there fucking gorging myself on every fucking substance and thing that I could, because oh, you, yeah, people say that's easier, but no, that was what was trying. This this tower moment, that was fucking gorgeous. That was fucking beautiful. I cried, I screamed, I spoke. I got my voice back. Truly. I'm releasing tensions and anxieties that for so long I haven't even been able to put names to. Anxieties that I didn't even realize I had because I was just so consistently in an environment that needed me to be in that space, in that in that space. Like, to now be in a space where I'm able to see my anxieties, but not because I'm being triggered by things, but because my nervous system is actually, it's just so fucking beautiful and magical. Like my nervous system is finally having the chance to recuperate, re reset, um reestablish itself, re-energize itself, and just rebirth of my whole being. And the nervous system is one thing I can explain without the anxiety of, oh no, am I sharing too much or something. um but it's also, it's so fucking huge to me. Like, i'm I have had this anxiety since I've been here. Like, when's the problem gonna happen? There's always a problem to solve. There's always something going on. There's always something that makes me need to be ready to fight. um Needing to be on the top of my game. not for living that way, but for surviving the shit that hasn't been on its game. And every single moment that I'm with the people that I am and in this space that I am and utilizing that for me, like thank you me for using this space and just completely 100% utilizing it and focusing on me and being grateful for everything that's around me. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, guides, for bringing me here. Thank you, everything entailed with that. But the point being that in every moment, I am being proved that I don't need to worry like I used to about anyone else's emotions, anyone else's life. Like, this is the first place that I've been that I feel safe enough and comfortable enough, not even comfortable, safe enough to be in another room of the house, hear someone on the phone or having a conversation in another room, and I don't feel like I need to listen to know what's going on, to know where they're at with their life, what's going on with their emotions and essence and everything, to know if I'm going to be safe and to know every little bit of everything that's going on around me. Like, I used to grow up with my mom telling me all this fucking bullshit. Like, it has stuck with me for so many years, and it used to make me so fucking mad. I'm not mad at this point, but it is like there's a little bit of fire still in my chest about it. It just would make me so fucking pissed that she would tell me how I'm just so oblivious. Like, I just don't fucking notice anything. And it's like people can speak on their situations and project whatever, but that shit would get me so pissed because I saw so much shit when I was younger that nobody else fucking saw. Nobody. Not even her. Especially because half the time it would be her and she didn't fucking recognize herself. And she projected on me as if I'm always the issue. Just sharing openly, and it got to that. But the fact that I was so oblivious and I have been so the opposite, completely in every moment, observant, not oblivious. And it's so funny because I always think about the fact that they both start with like O, and I think OB, oblivious and observant. OBS actually, observant, oblivious. Oh no, oblivious is L. Okay, yeah. So OB, they both start with OB, but they're the complete antonyms of each other. And I always really like that duality when I would think about it. Like that kind of stuff just tickles my brain in a way, and then sends chills down my being. But so yeah, I've been so observant to all of these things, and I'm just coming to a point in my life where I'm finally observant and having these artist's eyes of these ways of looking at things that isn't for safety and survival. It's for magic and creativity, and it's that tickles me even more. Like, girl, please, so happy. It's so beautiful, and I'm happy for myself right now. Like, yay! I'm containing it right now, but it's so like, yay! I'm finally at this point where I'm not looking at everything like I need to see every detail of this because I need to know how I'm going to survive this. It's, oh my god, I can see all these beautiful, magnificent, tiny details. Like when you go into, there's like the kaleidoscope things and you turn it and it just like, it's like the sacred geometry of just like all of this, like the colors, the things, the people, and whatever you're looking at. And then it goes into all of its own little shapes and then you just see it in a completely different way. It's so awesome. But come on up, Fiona. Come on up, baby. Yeah, come on up. Yeah, baby. Listen up. Here. hard there if you want to come lay down. Big purrs, huh? Yeah. Yeah, come on. Fiona's been my best friend through this since I've been here. It's cool how much I didn't realize today until today. Part of what she reflects to me is how much of her own being she is, and that's what I've stepped into more and more since I've been here. I don't identify with these past situations and with the people that I care about. I'm me, and those are parts of what I feel and I'm connected with, but they aren't who I am. And she is very much an independent cat. She has her own feelings and emotions on everything, and she doesn't just want to be pet and picked up by anybody. She needs to build that relationship first, just like anyone else. And just like most people, she has her time she wants to be touched and her time she wants to be alone and her own ways of processing things. And I'm so grateful for the way that we can respect each other in this manner and still share with each other. I'm opening my book now, baby. So I wrote a few notes just so I remember what I was thinking about throughout the videos I saw. But going back to that dream video, once I started getting into explaining my dream, I realized I really didn't remember as much as I remembered going through that week after that dream. I made that video right after I wrote that page or wrote the pages in my journal. Um, and uh, and that was the same day I woke up from the dream. I wrote it down and then I made the video. And then throughout the week, I think I remembered more and more every time I was thinking back on it and I was telling people about it or whatever. But there's also the added, like, I remembered more as I went on since then, but I also recognized more going back and listening to that again. Or not again, but listening to it for the first time. Because other than the time that I was speaking it out and obviously listening as I said things, but there's this dagger that I know I was holding throughout like all of my dimension hopping. I'm gonna need a sip of juice. There was this dagger that I was holding throughout all of my dimension hopping, and I was confused and a little wary of like describing this to other people because I didn't want other people to see it as I still felt like I needed to fight and I was still in survival. Oh, there's been some weird energy at my third eye space recently. Like it's really breaking open, but I don't. Oh, sometimes it feels really uncomfortable, but like in a deep way where it's like it feels like it's happening inside here and I can't do anything to like massage or whatever. And sometimes it just feels like it's lighting up, like it's things are happening and it feels good. But right now it feels a little weird. But it's probably connected with this. So let's keep going. So I didn't want people when I was expressing it or explaining my dream to think, oh, she's still in survival. She still needs to fight. Like she still carries these things for protection and comfort. And because like I know when I have these things, I have this knowing. My clear senses are going crazy. Like it doesn't feel like I have to put it into that category of oh my clear senses, oh my knowing, my seeing, my blah blah blah, my intuition. It's like it's me, it's essence, it's energy, it's feeling into things, it's recognizing what's around us. um I mean, like, it's as obvious as saying, like, oh my God, my sight's so great that I read those words over there. Like, it just seems like it's like, why explain it like that? Like, I don't need to say it like that. I'm just like, I know, I have this knowing, and I see, I have this seeing, and I feel, I have these feelings. And they all tell me a lot. A lot of the time, I can intuit the future, and I can um, scry things. I can connect with spirits that aren't just myself and aren't just my guides, like divination in my dreams, in the land around me, everything. I see I'm just sharing whatever I feel like is important to share, but with this dagger in the dream, to go back to this, this dagger was not for that comfort. It wasn't for that fight. It was for the truth. It was me carrying my truth. And just as in it, like I said in that video that I just re-uploaded or just uploaded, I every time me and my family or my friends, whatever it was in the dream, but focusing on me, every time I would go up to the next level, to the higher vibrational dimension, and I would dimension hop, the demons, the parasites, the creatures, the it's and that embodied everything from patterns, from emotions holding on, to the gunk that's been staying inside of me, um and other people too, because it wasn't just me in the dream, but focusing on me, because that's what I need to do right now. It's just wholeheartedly, gratefully, courageously focus on myself. So throughout that, the demons would be able to hide less and less. That truth was coming up. The fact that I needed to face that. The fact that they were lower vibrational, so the contrast with the higher vibrational state was so like bright, and just like, it's, imagine putting neon colors on black, like that's like the contrast here. And so the same way that my higher vibrational state was going up and these things were able to be seen, the dagger was upgrading, as I said in that video, which I had forgotten since then. That was the thing that I let slip since then, actually, is the fact that the dagger was upgrading throughout that whole time. And then at the end, I got the gun right before I got into the space where I swam by myself and I climbed the mountain by myself, and then I got again to the place where everyone was. Um, and I love this right now. I have to pick this up and show you guys. Like, I had a feeling she was gonna be, oh, you can't even see her. I had a feeling um she's gonna be here with me today. She's been laying over here as I was sleeping, and the whole time since last night to this morning, or to this afternoon actually, because I didn't go to bed till late again. Um, and it was just sitting with me here. Like, it's definitely a sign for me in a way that I can't describe to anyone else. That's personal, I guess, and that's okay. So I will go back to sharing again the things I meant to share. So that dagger embodied my truth, and every time I got to the higher vibrational, that truth was even more clear, even more powerful, and even more sustaining, and sustainable, and to the point where never had to unsheath it and wield it against a thing in my dream at all. Like, I never took it out of the sheath. Like I said though, the one time I did, like, I made sure it was there. And it's funny because it was right before, again, it was like when I got the gun and I put them both in the holster next to each other, and I made sure that they were accessible right before I went into the space by myself. Um, And the dagger represents that truth, but the gun represents it as well, but in a louder way, because the gun and the dagger can do similar things, but the gun is louder. It puts on more of a show. Everyone around you hears it go off. And there's nothing to silence it. There's no silencer. Not at all. This is huge, because I've been in my tarot and the videos I've been seeing where people have been the other people post it, and I've been watching those as I felt called, and it's all been so powerful, because it's like, thank you to all the people I've been seeing, because they're just letting spirit talk straight through them to me and everyone else who's watching their videos, and it is so powerful. I'm so grateful for that. But with that, I've been being shown that there is going to be a loud moment for me to speak my truth, and that other people are going to finally know the truth, that me getting to that clarity within myself is going to be expanding that clarity out. And I'm letting that time come to me, because I am not going to make rash decisions because of signs. There's more signs as things get closer, but that gun, I think, is a symbol of the fact that, like, yes, this is really happening, and you knew it before all of these other things were telling you straight up what it is, like what's going on. Like, I had these symbols, and my dreams are just huge for me. But yeah, the strengthening and upgrading of my truth, with the dagger upgrading throughout the time, the loudness and the everyone knowing with the gun, and then that last uh that last that last tower that I was scaling the side of. And I think I said in the last video, I was scaling the side of a house, and it was really like, it really seemed like a castle, like a tower, like the stone castle. And but it was only like the one side of it, and it was like partially all broken down, and you could see into it in parts of it, and the door was like wide open. I don't even know if there was a door at the bottom, but there was this light shining through there. There were the demon things coming out. There was the one that faced me as soon as I got onto the stairs, and then after that left me, and I was going all the way up the stairs, and I get the gun, where it's falling apart. I think I'm following someone, and then I open up into this whole new place. And but the fact that the tower was falling apart, this castle was falling apart in this whole dark, gloomy space of like just darkness and gunk and everything there, but that light shining through, it was literally the tower card embodying in a whole scene for me. The tower moment happened, and then I got into that liminal space where I have nothing to focus on but myself, and that going uphill by myself, that going upstream by myself, but obviously never by myself. Yeah, you beautiful baby. I have always people and spirits and guides around me, animals, nature in every possible way. I'm so divinely guided and gifted and protected. I wouldn't even be able to explain that depth to anyone else. And this time with myself was like, I was calling this place my liminal space for a while. Yeah, it's just expanding on focusing on myself, but never alone. The most alive I've ever felt. I was saying in the video how the space when I was in the foresty part after I got through the river. I mean, even as soon as I got onto that cliff and I was just looking at it, I was like, wow, the colors, the life, the everything. And then like I got in the waters and it felt like magical, like, and then I get into the woods and it just feels like so alive, like the the forest and me are one, and it's just this beautiful pounding life of like, not even pounding but like a vibration and ebb, actually kind of like Aldous Huxley describes at the beginning of his book, The Doors of Perception. I started reading that, and recently, like since I've been here, and it was talking about how when he had gone through like this testing of this medicine, and it brought upon like this trip to anyone who would use it, and I'm forgetting what it was like the concentrate of at the moment, but basically like you take this and then you're kind of just like, it's interesting because it's kind of how I see most of the time, like especially now that I'm not so focused on things that no longer serve me, like just, but not wholly like in this, because I can't see it the way he's describing 100%, but I feel it, like there's this feeling and this knowing and this seeing that combine into being 100% able to understand what he was talking about. But basically, like, he describes things as having, like, I think the one thing he describes other than a chair in this way is a flower, and maybe two different flowers, I think, that are in this room that he's doing this like trip in. And it's just, it doesn't have an ebb and a flow, but it just has this like ebb, like this continuous pulse, like it just keeps going out, but it doesn't go back in, it just goes out. And it's interesting because when people visualize breathing, a lot of the time they go, obviously you breathe in and that expands you, so that's kind of like the breathing in as you go out, right? But then you breathe out and it goes back in. But when I breathe in, ever since I did this one meditation with Will Almondo, where it was everyone in the call is envisioning us and we're all in this circle and we're breathing in to our heart space. And then we're breathing out, and that heart space is yet still expanding outward. Through our being and to the rest of us in the circle. And that was the first time that I ever like truly felt bliss in that way. And ever since then, when I breathe like that, like I am continuously expanding, not just breathing out and then in and out and da, da, da. Like it's that there's not just that ebb and the flow, there there's not the ebb and the flow, there's just like the one continuous expansion, that's a flowing out, like that. um that would be the best way for me to describe all of that. um but yeah, it's kind of like that when I was in those woods, and in that water, like I was just one with all of it, and my expansion was its expansion, and its expansion was my expansion, and its flow was my flow, and its life was my life. Like I'm picturing this and feeling it and seeing it all at once. Like I'm saying this knowing, this feeling, this seeing, as I'm speaking. And I think, um and then in the last one that I had watched of myself, it was me going very deep for me into um to grief, to sadness, to longing, to anger, um that I had been holding in for so long. And one of those things being that like with finally feeling those things, I didn't feel in the moment exactly like I was going to end it, but I was feeling like finally expressing the fact that I did feel like I was going to end it. Like all of this stuff was so much for me to handle that I just wanted it to be over, and if there was no other way that I would have done that to myself. And so even though I wouldn't do that now, there was still that feeling in the moment. And one of those things when I was going through that part of it was saying how like it just felt like I was living a fucking script every fucking day. Um, because I was living for everyone else instead of me until now. And it kind of feels insane to me. Like out of anything that everyone called me crazy for, that's the craziest fucking thing to me is that I am 20 years old and I am just now starting to live for myself after living for everyone else, and not because I was finally recognized for it, but because I finally recognized myself and realized that yes, I was meant to be doing all of those things at that time, but now it is time to be doing that for me. And so I don't regret any of the past. Again, I'm so grateful for it. I think even that has taught me how to be here for myself in the ways that I haven't and in the ways that I have for other people. Uh and to be grateful for the fact that I can, in the ways that I felt hurt that I wasn't accepted and seen by other people when I just needed to see myself. But so one of the things I said was that I felt like I was living that script, and I think that that was majority wise why. Um, so I was living these lies. I was living for other people. I was trusting these things I wasn't meant to trust in, and these people I wasn't meant to trust anymore. Um, although anymore I say, because at the time all of that, all of the wrong trustings and everything else, it was so trying. It's like it was just part of my journey. It was a beautiful experience and it taught me so much. It brought me so much. It unlocked so much within me that was already here that now I can recognize, accept, and love and be grateful for. And I definitely need that to be very clear because so many people are like, oh, and they get caught up on my shit. And it's like, don't get caught up on my shit. I'm grateful for that. I moved forward with this. And this has brought me to like all of these skeleton keys, basically, right? Like the skeletons in the closet, like those were my skeleton keys to get out of like, I don't know if anyone else is like if you're playing Skyrim or something like that, there's like this is the best way I can explain it if you don't know what a skeleton key is. It's like when you get thrown in prison in one of these video games where it's like an open world and you can do whatever, like you could go up and hit a civilian, and if you rob a civilian or hit a basically cop or like a guard, it's kind of like a fantasy realm, so they're more like knights or guard type things. If you do something and the guards take you to prison, the only way you can get out is if you have a skeleton key. And it's literally a key made out of bones from other people who have died down there. Um, so wow, the ancestry with that. My ancestors have been coming up so much for me right now, um, in so many ways. But yeah, even the fact that like I don't know if I posted this in a video, but the fact that like we don't only have generational curses, but we also have ancestral gifts. Um, and those ancestral gifts are coming to me more and more right now. And I think that connects in with the skeleton keys from those things that are somewhat what other people see as negative in my life when I'm still so grateful for them, because I've taken everything in my life and I I've I have definitely taken things and sat with it and wallowed in it, and I've been depressed and whatever the hell else. But those things have also taught me and given me keys. But what I'm saying is that now, with where I'm currently at, I've been able to. Hey, babe, if you want to come back over here, you can. I have been able to take everything that happens for me, because whatever happened to me, it happened for me. And it's what I do with it. That's what I've been telling people for so long, is that's how I see other people, is I don't see what they did, I see what they do with it afterward. Like, okay, yeah, you made a mistake, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to move forward with that? What did that teach you? And you don't need to tell that to me, but I want to see that in your actions. I want to see that in the way that you are, in everything that you are, your words, thoughts, and actions. Because everything that happens to us and for us is an opportunity for transformation, an opportunity to heighten our vibration, to change our reaction and our response. Um, so, yes, all of those skeleton keys have been helping me to move forward and unlock new opportunities, new connections, things that open doors of things I've blocked for myself for so long. Like, I'm even starting to go out more. Like, that, I think there's one person who could listen to this and actually know how much that means to me, because I've talked to him about this. But like, me finally being able to go out is so huge without a second thought. Like, my friend has hit me up twice since I've been here, and it's hilarious because we've been talking for years, and she has an uncle that lives in Virginia too. But anytime she came to Virginia to visit him when I was in Virginia living with mine, it was like it would be so far apart in within Virginia that it still would be too far to like come and meet up. And then even since I've been here, like, not meeting up yet and making a plan to, that wasn't until after the tower fall moment that happened. Canceling that, moving it forward, and then having another one that happens right after that. Um, that's wild. No, I knew I was gonna hang out with her that day. That's so wild. Before the tower fall moment, I was looking at my calendar and my days off, and I told her one day, because I wanted something else to happen on this specific date. And then, but I had this feeling at that moment, like, no, like, there's something different that's gonna happen that day. And it ended up being us hanging out that day. That Saturday specifically, that we were both off, and she had randomly hit me up too, because she was going to be going out with other people, but there was a situation that happened that didn't happen, so she ended up calling me and we hung out. Dude, I knew that day was huge for some reason. I still don't know 100% what all of it meant, but I know that day was fucking huge for me. And maybe it ties in with what I'm saying right now. Like, like I said, she was gonna go out with other people, so she randomly hit me up and was like, "Yo, like, you want to come out with me?" And then, without a second thought, I was like, "Yeah, like, if I'm free, if nothing else is happening," because of being in this liminal space and knowing that something needed to happen and things needed to get figured out, So I was like, like, obviously I need to put that first, but something with figuring things out isn't happening, then hell yeah, girl, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be hanging out. And my uncle and I have been talking about hockey since I've been here. And then one day he got back from hockey and we were talking about it because he goes out for games during the week after work. And he was saying that I could come one of the times, like, to watch him play. And this week he had just asked me, like, he's like, "Hey, like, I'm going to hockey night. If you wanna, he didn't even ask me. He's like, if you wanna come, like I'll be leaving at this time. Otherwise, I'm not doing it until like this later date. And I was like, still with figuring things out. I was like, all right, well, beyond the fact that I don't know if I'm gonna be here for that later date, I also know that I don't have anything going on today that would make me actually say no. So like, even though I hadn't been planning for this the whole day, yeah, hell yeah, I'll be going. It was like an hour to get ready and finish up what I was in the middle of, and got ready at the perfect time, headed out with him. Um, that was a beautiful experience as well. And then got to come back to the house and then talked with um him and my aunt, and it's just, that was a huge moment for me with our conversation, like literally right before they go up to bed. um which I don't think it's time to share that, but it's just definitely beautiful moments all the way around. And we have such a, I don't want to say we, but I say we as a society have such a fucking small perspective and perception and view on the words that we use. And it's like we don't even understand what the fuck we're talking about half the time. And I say that with these curse words because it pisses me off that people have tried to put my shit in a box for so fucking long. And I've just been so far out of that that I'm like, how the fuck do I even explain this to someone who is so stuck in their shit that they don't even want to see what I'm saying? Like, like if I were to say beautiful, people want to put it into a box and say, oh, it's only the, it's the, it's, oh, even if it's the things that are unique, it's the things that are unique that are pretty. Beautiful and pretty are not the same fucking words, buds. Let's please understand this. Beautiful and pretty are not the same fucking words. Beautiful, beauty has depth, has layers. And this is what I'm saying when I talk about my artist eye, is I've been able to express this within my poetry for years. And I've I've taken the worst situations that I've gone through that I had no other way of understanding how to express or process my emotions from them. I would go to my parents. I'd be like, I don't understand what I'm feeling. I don't know. I don't understand how to express this. I don't understand how to work through this or manage my emotions. And they didn't either. Like my dad would straight up tell me, like, I never got taught that. I'm trying to learn. I can show you these, like this one thing, and otherwise you gotta figure this out on your own, basically, because I'm still figuring it out. Um, so yeah. Sheesh. But the poetry, being able to express those negative emotions, like, why do we try and put things in a fucking box? Like, it's not good and bad and positive and negative and blah, blah, blah. I like to use positive and negative sometimes, but good and bad, bro, is like, that is such a stupid way to try and fucking describe something. Like, that is the black and white, the blackest and whitest fucking labels that you could try and put on something. There is gray space. People be upset because I have my one foot in here and my one foot in the other, and they don't understand that I'm the one making the fucking bridge. And I'm not saying that as I'm the fucking ground you walk on. No, no. I'm saying that I'm my own bridge, and my life is my experience, my everything about me. Like, I don't care how selfish this sounds right now to anyone else. I know what I'm talking about. My voice is here, and she's not being quiet. I don't need to whisper because I'm the fucking bomb, and people gonna witness that. They're gonna feel the ground shaking. Seriously, just expressing what I'm feeling right now. It's coming. It's coming. I don't know what it is, but it's coming. And I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting so wholly in the universe right now. But talking so much about me feeling safe and creating this safe space with myself to express these emotions and everything. Hi, Foxy Book. I literally feel her calling to me. The fox and the butterfly here, they're my babies too. I love you, Fifi. You're my baby too. I love you. Even though you're not my baby. I love you. You know what I mean? I've been listening, dude, seriously crazy. I don't even need to go into how this came up for me. But this song, if y'all are interested, NAHKO and the Medicine People. Nahko and the Medicine People. Um, budding, budding saddles, budding seeds, something like that. Um, the body talks and meditation helps. Like, there's just so many deep things in their music. Oh, okay. Sorry, that's sorry. Thank you for your patience. I know it took less time for you than for me, but there was definitely whatever blank period is left in the middle of that. Um, Uncle came down, and even though I trust everything I'm saying, and I would send this video to him if it were necessary, if it was called, um, I do respect their space and respect mine, and the fact that I like to have my private time when I'm making these videos, and I don't normally do it when I'm surrounded by people, um, or with anyone else. So, but to get back to my Foxy journal, Foxy Butterfly, um, the body talks and meditation helps. Okay, so I heard something this morning. It's actually like this tarot reader. He does like shorter ones, but he can also do ones that are still like 20, 30 minutes long, and it'll be on like a reel on Facebook. And I start in and like I can normally tell by the way he's talking and the energy of it that it's gonna be a longer one. But sometimes I'll be sitting there, it's like, damn, this is not a quick one. And I look and it's like, oh, it's 25 minutes long. But this one ended up being one of the shorter ones today. And he said something about how knowledge becomes wisdom when action is taken. Like you can know something and that's great, like, and you know it's the truth, but until action is taken, it's just knowledge. But when action's taken, that's when it becomes wisdom. And probably because like that's really deep. And I wrote it down immediately because I was like, damn. Um, but like it goes to show like the when it's like it's like when people know the truth about something, but they're preaching it, but they haven't been practicing it. But when you practice what you preach, then you have a whole other thing that you're preaching with that. Like you're sending your energy out. You're not just saying these words like, oh, I know this will help for my monkey mind brain. I know this logically makes sense. Like, no, no. Energetically, I feel how this has been working for me and how it integrates into the web of my life and existence. And I can see and live and have lived through experiencing this knowledge within my own life. And that's where it becomes wisdom that people can cultivate and share with others. Um, but there's also this thing that it hit me weird when I first read this. It was like a while ago, like I think months ago, like probably even before I got back to PA, or maybe in the transition of getting here, but not here to this place, but like to my dad's. And it was it I want to say it stuck with me, but not stuck with me in the way where it was like constantly in my brain or like coming up at all. Like it was something that like it hit me weird at that moment, and then I guess like stuck with me subconsciously, and then I've been carrying it till this morning when it clicked and I was like, "Oh," and I remembered it more clearly and thought about it again deeper. And okay, so like connecting with the knowledge becomes wisdom when action is taken. I heard something a while ago where it was like this post on some social media app, and someone was talking about creating their safe space. And then going into the comments, people are talking about their safe space and creating their safe space. And I read this comment, and it like I felt at the time, like I felt the energy. I knew it was like it was a man who had been like holding on to a lot of his anger and his trauma and his hurt and his pain, which I can recognize within myself, especially at that time. um but so I was really feeling for this guy, like damn, like I know what he means, but like ugh, in the energy of it, I felt his energy, and I was like, oh, I know what that feels like, kind of thing. But like the words was just like, why would you look at it like that? Or like maybe like it makes sense logically, but you're stuck in that monkey mind type thing. And so his comment on that safe space thing was that the only reason that we feel like we need to make a safe space is for because of fearing the, and not like making a safe space like this is the only room I feel safe in, but like no, like energetically, like making our space safe because we are scared and fearful of the things in life around us. And I was like even though that like logically makes sense, it's also like not true with the intention that at least I was going at it with. And so, I was like, huh. I sat with it for a second, but not really long. And then again, like it must have stuck with me at the time because now I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm at this point in my life where I 100% trust that I'm a safe space for myself. No matter where I'm at, I'm a safe space for myself. Even if I'm in the worst situation, I know I'm going to do my best and do everything I can to be safe for myself and not put myself into a worse situation within that situation, if you know what I mean. Like the choices that I make within that are going to be the ones that lead me to my safety rather than just me being scared of the outcome. Um, and so with that, I'm in this space now that I've cultivated this safety within myself. And it's no longer because I fear everything out there, but it's that knowing. It's been that knowing of the things that have been around me my entire life that spirit and the divine and the intricate web have shown me are constantly around me. And I've let affect me and let be the reasons I live in the ways that I was living. And it was the knowledge of that took the action of me creating this safe space for myself, which wasn't one action, it was many actions. It was building back that trust and love for myself, that connection to the divine and the world around me, everything that brought this from fear into wisdom, that action. So, me building that safe space for me has brought me to a wiser point in my life, and not because, like, oh, I'm so wise, like, I'm so cool. No, no, because that it's just the truth in the matter that this knowing took that action and made into wisdom. And maybe that connects with what I've also been getting is that like no, it's not time to share that one yet, but I think that links with some things that I can be sharing with other people in my life, as I am now. um and I feel like that's pretty much where I'm going to cut off for today. I kind of wanted to read um into some cards, but this has already gotten to be an hour, and I kind of walked through what I was processing and everything this morning. Um, so, yeah, thank you guys. Trust yourselves, love yourselves, trust the divine in the process. Know you're never alone. Blessed be. Love you, Gwen.